with our mighty team. Heroes we've become, living out the dream. Roll the dice, feel the thrill, monsters we will overthrow. Questing with friends in the RPG show.
What's new on the shelves of your local game shop? If you're lucky enough to have one, let's find out. It's the FLGS news from your boy, the OGGM, coming to you live from Site B at about 8:30 in the morning on this, the 19th day of September, which means, amongst other things, it's Arg, avast, you scurvy dogs. Talk like a pirate day. Avast, rum, stow the missing mass, and other piratey things. All right, let's see what's new at the friendly local game store. But remember, don't be taking my words for it, you scurvy nerds. Call ahead and make sure they have it in stock. And if they don't have it in stock, they can get it for you. So you can tell right up, apparently Shadowdark is on the shelves now. Congratulations, Kelsey, Tabletop Role-Playing Game of the Year. And the Shadowdark zine is on the shelves now. If I had a friendly local game store, I would go in to see if it's actually there and support Kelsey. $59, $60 is still a little pricey. How much of that is because of the art? I don't know. I know it's partially because of where she's shipping from. Hopefully someday we'll get a lower cost version of it because I'd love to have a physical copy. But as much as I love you, Kelsey, $60 for your game is just a little too much. So yes, physical copies available of the Shadowdark on your friendly local game store. But again, don't take my word for it. Call ahead, make sure they have it. And then issues of the Shadowdark zine. Shadowdark already has its own zine of just individuals contributing and then putting it together and putting it out. And that's only $15, which is still a little pricey for a zine, but I'm loving to see that. From Free Leagues Games, we have the Twilight 2000 box set for $60 and Hostile Waters for $42, which is a brand new adventure for Twilight 2000. I don't know how this box set is different than the box set that they came out with when they bought the license to Twilight 2000, which I have sitting on my shelf. Never had a chance to play it yet. And it was one of those games where you played in college and then never picked up a copy, and they got a copy of it. And people are always saying great things about Twilight 2000. So I picked up the box set when they, announced that they had it. How is this one different? Yeah, it looks like it has the same stuff. I don't know if mine had these little punch out thingies. I'd have to open mine up and check, but everything else in this one I have, so I don't see what's different. Maybe the art is different. I don't know. And then we have Hostile Waters, just Twilight 2000 on the ocean. What happens to the boats and the submarines and the battle cruisers when some scenarios like this break out? Let's see an entire post-apocalypse zombie apocalypse that takes place on a battleship or a submarine. Or actually, I think they did a Walking Dead submarine. I mean, I suppose a Walking Dead submarine episode would be like 20 minutes, right? Oh no, Billy at the front's got infected. All right, we have a choice. We can close the door and wait to die, or we can open the door and die. Either way, we're going to die. I don't know. Yeah. How did Billy get infected anyways? But yeah, what was the movie? There was a TV show. It's called like The Last Ship, right? Which was basically Twilight 2000 on the ocean. And it was all about a battleship, because battleships are floating cities pretty much anyways, and how it reacted and what they did, during the sort of the days up to the apocalypse. So that is definitely a Twilight 2000 TV show if you could ever find it. I believe it was called The Last Ship. Yeah, Twilight 2000. Another one of those games I absolutely love. I know I'll never get to play it, but it's sitting on my shelves because we've so much post-apocalypse, but so little days leading up to the apocalypse. Probably the best days leading up to the apocalypse is This Is How It Ends. If you've never seen that movie, great movie. Or the first season of Fear of the Walking Dead. From Necrotic Gnome, Old School Essentials is back, along with some love for Old School Essentials. $40 would get you the hardback of Old School Essentials. And $15 gets you these little supplements. Hole in the Oak, which is an adventure, and In Descent and Grottos, which is an adventure. $40 for old school essentials is a little pricey, but the art, the hardback, it's highly regarded as one of the best OSR retro clones. Or if you look, there's so many old school essential hacks and games based on that. Yeah, this is definitely, I think, a lot for the go to for people. So we've got some adventures for the old school, and we've got the classic fantasy. So if you're looking for one of the more highly regarded old school style TSR D&D relive classic adventure D&D, this is definitely in the top 5. $40 again, a little pricey for me, but I think it's worth it. From the Melsonian Arts Console, we have Troikia, the intro bundle. This might be the first time we've seen them. It's $41, and it's everything you need to do to start playing in the science fantasy acid punk weirdness that is Troikia. Yeah. So, yeah, it's got, you know, what you would expect in a starting book. It's the basic rules, some adventures, a dungeon, some pre-generated characters, some other thingies, including a player character guinea pig. So yeah, Troikia, man, just so bizarre and weird and out there. And every time you hear about it, and they're great art that they do. And then for Casium, we have the latest version of Call of Cthulhu for $55, and the Call of Cthulhu Arkham source book. Not the Arkham that Batman uses, but the Arkham from Call of Cthulhu. So Call of Cthulhu core rules, of course, is the core rules for Call of Cthulhu. What version is this? Well, mine was 7th, so this has got to be 8th or 9th, right? I don't think that much has changed since my 7th edition, but this book I also think is just a reprint with locations in and around Miskatonic University, including the infamous Arkham Asylum, and that the city that is Miskatonic, which I think is Chicago or Chicago adjacent. It's somewhere in New England. So it's you know, Call of Cthulhu land here in America. Mostly, I think, the eastern coast, Vermont, Rhode Island, Chicago, Illinois, maybe some of the towns around the Great Lakes. But yeah, it's always, I think that's the part of the world that is Miskatonic, because, you know, Gotham is Chicago, Metropolis is New York. So yeah, Arkham, Miskatonic University, somewhere along the East Coast. And it's Call of Cthulhu, you know, the best tabletop role-playing game system ever. So we can't go wrong. And that is it. That's literally it. Just in time for Halloween, Call of Cthulhu. If there's anything on here I'd recommend, I'd pick that one up, or at least the basic rules that Chaosium has. Troikia, just for the curiosity. OSE, yes, I mean, you know, if you're looking for one of the top 5 old school retro clones, this is probably one of the ones to get. Don't really see, I guess they're re-releasing it. If you didn't get it the first time, here's your chance to get it. You know, it's one of those games where people are always like, oh, you should have this, even if you never got to play it game. So when they re-released it, a lot of people picked it up. I don't know if it's as good as the original one, but it's still pretty awesome. And then, of course, gotta tip my cup of coffee to my pal Kelsey for getting on the shelves at the friendly local game store. Let's hope this increases the popularity of Shadowdark and helps to mend some of the hostility between the old school and the new school and the next school. That's all the tabletop role-playing game product available this week, but don't take my word for it. Please call your friendly local game store ahead of time to make sure they have it in stock. And if they don't have it in stock, ask them if they can pre-order it for you. If you appreciate me doing this every Thursday, let me know. If you never want to hear me do this ever again, let me know. Remember, this is your channel. You got to tell me what you want to see, because I can't read your minds. I know you think I can, but I can't. Steve the cat might be able to read your mind, but I can't. Till next time, have a great day, stay safe, and I will talk to you later. Nerd.
News from the table in the rolling waves. Dice in our hand, we're the dungeon's brave. Adventures tonight with our mighty team.